was the last weekend in September 2007 when five guys leave wives and girlfriends behind for a weekend sail to Newport. Here we have Shireen and Mike discussing the sleeping arrangements and joking around over who would be sleeping with Russ. This is Russ. At 6 feet 8 inches, this guy snores so loud and deep that it was best described as a tractor-trailer engine downshifting on a steep grade. The first night is spent in what I've come to think of as the Providence Condo Fright House. This apartment has primitive African ceremonial objects occupying every conceivable area of the rooms. Only slightly less scary is this African mask watching over me as I slept that first night. I looked up through the shadows at those slit eyes, and that jawline. I could see this mask coming to life crazy easy. Is that real human hair? Sure looks like it. The coloring around the mouth looks so real. Huh? Did that eyelid just move? We had dinner in Providence at Cove, a hybrid antique shop restaurant. The food was delicious and plentiful. The owner, Shireen's mom, sat with us and chatted with tables all around us, a gracious hostess seeing to everyone's happiness. She also allowed us to crash in the apartment used for the storage of antiques. We wandered among these works of art with care. There is a primitive beauty here that would certainly get you attention at that next Halloween party. I had a nightmare of swirling around inside a pot of stew with this guy watching me spoon in hand. Finally on the boat, and sailing to Newport with Russ at the helm, this was his first trip with us, and as the new guy has sea legs to earn. Here is Shireen on his perch watching over operations and calling out occasional instructions. Russ tells us this is not all that dissimilar to driving with his wife in the car. Yes, dear, became a frequent response to course corrections. So Russ is casually informed that this new mast is slightly taller than can safely be sailed under the bridge. When we near the underpass, everyone has to sit over to one side and lean hard to get the tilt we will need to clear the roadway. From a distance, the bridge story seems plausible. The mast is 45 feet tall. Hang on and lean hard, Russ. We need you working it here, buddy. The closer that you get, though, it becomes pretty obvious that there is no problem with clearance. One more sea challenge, Russ. It seems your head won't fit under the bridge. Smooth sailing and good winds after the bridge. Approaching port, we see the Queen Mary is moored off Newport. This ship is over 1,100 feet long and cost nearly $1 billion, or 4 days in a rock. Sailing in for a good view, an excellent question floats up to the deck. How close are you allowed to get to this ship? This Coast Guard vessel seemed to appear in a spray of salt water. As we check out the machine gun turret on the rear deck, we listen to a voice barking through the PA. You have crossed into a secured area. Time to tack. This is the NCL Veendam cruise ship, which we tacked near enough to slap the hull as we sailed by it. No Coast Guard gunship around here charging like a bulldog on a chain. Apparently, the U.S. doesn't really care much about the Norwegian stuff. Pulling into Newport, where the private yachts are just over the top. If you have too much money, then it's clearly time for a big boat. We walk off the docks to Bannister's Wharf, where discussion turns to the evening activity in this year's bar game. Everyone is assigned a thing they have to get a girl to do, all completely clean. Shireen needs a belly rub, I will get my forehead touched, Mike gets his palm read, Terry a back rub, and Russ needs his bicep squeezed. This for his Mongo stories from college. Anxious to get the game in gear, Shireen asks the waitress at dinner to rub his belly. It was a brutal shootdown that had the rest of us worried about spit in our food. Later at the bar, Shireen was the first successful with a less coarse approach on a pair of chatty girls that seemed more interested in Mike. Shireen threw one over the plate for me when he told the bar waitress I had a special power, so I said I can guess her hometown with a touch to my forehead. I had failed miserably the first time I tried the same tactic on a girl that, well, some expressed reservations qualified as a girl. Overall, a fun game in that it gets you chatting with strangers, and was easier than last year's task of getting a girl to say your secret word in a sentence. I mean, how do you even pronounce scatological? The sailboat is called the Panache, but when we pulled up to the dock for fuel, the attendant called it out as the Panicky. Well, yeah, that's right, kid. but only when the Coast Guard is around.